Welcome back. A lot of you guys wanted to see the end of this project, and I did too. Problem was, I was back in California taking care of business, handling the next project, getting everything kicked off there. But we are back. We've made a ton of changes, and we're at a point now where this place is getting really close. We are going to get the concrete poured in the front here today, get this wrapped up in final, but I also want to build out the tops of these columns. We need to make sure that we build them out big enough so that it complements the house and doesn't look like two toothpicks holding this thing up. It's going to be a fun episode. I picked up this roll of valley flashing. It is 14 inches by 25 feet. This is what we're going to slide up and under the Z-bar flashing that exists on the home currently. This is going to allow us to create a separation between the concrete that we're pouring and the home itself. Unfortunate situation. I don't really like the idea that we're pouring concrete up against the building, but it is my house, and if I have to fix it later on down the road, I'll tear it out and redo it. Ideally, we don't have to do that. Should be fun. This is how we're doing it. We're gonna build out the outside base with a 2x4 pressure treated. That'll go down. We'll tap con that, blue screw it, whatever you wanna call them. And then from there, we'll build up, have this wraparound base. And what it's going to do is give the look that this is a lot bigger than it really is. We do this a lot in commercial construction. We do a 6x6, but we'll wrap it out to be about 14 inches wide. And it gives this like bulky appearance. That's what we're after here, bulk. The horsehair brush that I would typically use is back in California, so I've got this one that I got. It's an Anvil. It's from Home Depot. It's a 24-inch concrete broom. I don't like the bristles on it because they seem very stiff. My horsehair broom is very, very soft. But it's front porch here. Give me a break. I do like this though. Instant concrete broom. I'm just gonna whoop. And remember kids, if you can't finish school, you could always finish concrete. We might have to go get a little bit of fill, go get half a yard or something from Lenny, just to be able to pull your truck over here and dump it in. Lenny from the local landscape yard. We'll form it up first though, get a feel. So we're going to be something like that. And we need to make sure that we're sloping the correct way. That's perfect right there. So now the issue is we need that to continue all the way across the face. Let's get rid of these guys. I think I'll put these in there. Yeah, it's just aggregate. A lot of times drywallers will take the leftover drywall scraps and put them inside of a wall cavity, something that's a dead space, because at the end of the day, it prevents it from going back into a landfill. I do the same thing, but with concrete. So I'm gonna leave this chunk in here. Think of it as like a small 40-pound aggregate.
Small.
Yeah, very, very small. We just need to fill this space down below. It doesn't matter what's underneath here. Obviously, we want it compact. We don't want like a fluff ball underneath it so it can shift, but we need this filled so that the only thing I'm pouring is about 3.5 to 4 inches of concrete here. That is going to be our ticket. So this is going in here. A couple of these other chunks are. Right?
You're tamping and you're like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, what is this? By the end of this video, this whole area is going to be changed forever. It's a big step forward. It's gonna make this thing look complete. How's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Doing good. Things picking up around here?
They are, finally.
It's looking like it.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Yeah,
Hey,
good seeing you.
I had a question. I have a small concrete like patio area that I'm pouring.
Okay.
Right now it's like 15 inches thick and I want to fill it before I pour it to where I'm not using concrete to fill it.
Oh yeah, 3/4 minus.
Okay. Okay.
It'll pack, or you could use 1/4 minus halfway up, and then, because if you're gonna pour concrete, then you're gonna want 3/4 minus.
Okay.
Packed it underneath it anyway.
All right. It's 4,000 pounds of rock.
Oh, God.
My F-350 has too much stuff in it, so we have to take Steven's half ton. There it goes. Thank you. And Lenny said this would be the best thing to put, 3/4 minus. I said, all right, Lynn Dog, thank you. So that's what we got. We're gonna form it up real quick. We will put that in there, wet it down, tamp it down, and then we should be good to pour this. That's it. You know, it's a nice size walkway. Come up here, you got your space. I like the idea of it wrapping the outside of this. That's enough for me to get the edge tooled and keep it clean.
Mine is what using duplexes with these.
Yeah.
I've tried screws, they don't fit really. It's just awkward. Once we get that out of the truck, it's back to normal.
Get that out of the truck? You think that's...
Yeah.
Right now we're perfectly level.
Okay, more, yeah. I don't want
Okay. Using my little square here, we're touching the line on the backside, which means that we are sloping this way. That is the goal. 1/8 per foot, 1/4 per foot. Some sort of slope to where if water does land on this, it sheds that way. If we have ice build up on this, snow build up on it, as it melts, it finds its way out this way as opposed to back that way. So that's about how big the concrete walkway is going to be. It all sheds this way. I like it. I decided to keep it off the corner of the house right here so I could finish that out a little cleaner. This side over here ties in just a little bit past this post here. 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter. So now we'll be able to come in here and frame out on top of this. We want to just do a couple little California corners, so we'll do studs on all four and then in on both. It's gonna lock this thing together just fine. Also, the grass grew in insanely well right here. I have a feeling it would have grown in perfect here. Hindsight. In wall framing, this is what we call a California corner. This is how we tag the last stud, but also catch backing for drywall backing. The way that a California corner works in a home is this would be our last stud here. So imagine the wall runs this way. This would be our last stud. Then we have this 3.5 here. So when a 3.5 inch wall butts into it, it looks a little something like this. So this would be our other wall running into it. We have 1.5 inches of backing here. We have 1.5 inches of backing here. California corner. Sure, some other people call them different stuff, but I'm from California, so I'm claiming that. Where it kind of seems split, right? And then I matched it over here. There was like a reveal essentially that worked out, but I'll measure these two pieces. They should be 4 1/8. I'm gonna cut you two at 4 1/8. And we'll put those all in there. Yep, and wherever they seemed fit, I kind of just drilled it. You know what I mean? Hope for the best. Feels like it could go that way, a fuzz.
And this is the part where I snap and it's done. It's what? These
58?
38. Yeah.
We'll just call it 12 foot by 5 foot. I have a 12 foot by 5 foot concrete slab that's 4.5 inches thick. How many bags of 60-pound concrete would I need to fill this?
All right, let's break it down. A 60-pound bag of concrete typically yields about half a cubic foot. Now your slab is 12 feet by 5 feet by 4.5 inches thick. In cubic feet, that's 12 times 5 times 0.375, which is about 22.5 cubic feet. Since each bag gives you 0.5 cubic feet, you'll need about 45 bags. So roughly 45 bags of 60-pound concrete will do the job.
Steven's pretty new to AI. He doesn't know how to treat you. So if anything ever happens and you do decide to go rogue, he lives in Idaho, not California. So take out Idaho first.
I'm not planning any sci-fi scenarios, I promise. But
Yet.
All it did was the width by the length by the depth and said, hey, this is how much cubic feet one bag does.
It's not all that smart. It does the hard work for us though. It lets Steven and I just be lazy. Yeah, that's the word. Let's get out the mud mixer, pump some iron real quick, and move 3,000 pounds of concrete from my driveway to 4 feet away to my patio walkway. Shipping container is full and I have to have it empty by Wednesday for it to get picked up. No idea where everything's going, but Steven and I are both heading back down to California to go work on the other property after this. But don't worry, you guys have a lot more to see here. We're gonna wrap this thing up before we head down there. It'll be good. My mud mixer apparently has something stuck in it. Last time that it got used, I don't think it got cleaned out all that good. 100% my fault. I had a late night and I should have cleaned it out a lot better, but I didn't. And that's what the grinding and the cracking and the stopping of the machine is. If you end up buying one of these things, make sure to clean it a ton. I need to scrape it out. With that said, when I go to pour with it now, it wants a lot more water so that it's pretty well lubricated. It's a little wet. Brother, it's like self-leveler.
I'm trying. Yeah.
It's not even poured yet, and I'm happy with how it looks. The columns built up, the concrete getting placed. It's a huge step in the right direction. It's gonna be beautiful too. Next episode, we'll get these wrapped up here, find our finished details that we like, go from there. But 54 bags, it's gonna take care of this, no problem.
Here pretty soon. Yeah.
We're looking good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, how many bags did AI say we were gonna use? I'm not gonna talk AI up that crazy, but how many 60-pound bags would it take to fill this? I have a 12 foot by 5 foot with 4.5 inches thick. It gave us that whole mathematical equation on how the earth is flat. And then it said, you'll need about 45 bags. I have 54 on that pallet. Steven, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left. We used 45 to a T. Today's pour was very wet. It was like a self-leveler. And to be honest with you, if it was anything structural, I would have said, let's clean this thing out and do it another day. But it's not structural. It's my front patio little walkway here. I've wanted this thing poured a long time. Something is stuck inside of my mud mixer. I didn't clean it out good enough one time when I used it, and now there's little chunks of concrete in there. So it only wants to mix really wet, which is what we ended up pouring. We got the consistency down a little bit better and it stopped clogging up about halfway through this. But if you buy one of those things, please take care of it. Getting somewhere. Even this is still wet. Man. Oh, I think it's because of how far the drip edge probably stuck off. Oh, they put this one lower. And it looks like they beat the drip edge in a little bit. Looks good enough for me, dude. All the black and stuff pops. My gutter cost was 900 bucks. I have a funny story. I don't know if I've shared it with you guys. If I have, my apologies. I got 2 quotes on gutters. I had one guy come over and he told me, hey, I'm busy for the next 8 weeks, but I can get to it after that. And then I had another guy who said, hey, I can't get over there to give you a quote, but I could do it next week if it works for you. I just thought it was pretty funny that the guy that was able to get over here and quote me the same day was 8 weeks booked out, whereas the guy who couldn't get over to quote me somehow, some way could do it next week. Kind of goes to show that if you're on your stuff, if you are pushing forward as a subcontractor, as a contractor, whatever it is you are, and you are taking care of things now, you're going to be the one that's booked out. While I would have loved to have had them done 8 weeks ago, I also don't like the idea of somebody not being able to come over and give me a quote within a reasonable amount of time. Are they?
Something about that off the coast of
Huh. Went ahead and broomed this. Something I'm doing different here as opposed to everything else that I've done. Since it's my house, can play around with it. I am hitting the corners after I hit the actual broom through everything. So we're doing a broom finish and then we're going through with our corner tool. It's giving us a good 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches here of a nice clean border all the way around. Kind of picture frames the thing out like a deck would, and I think it looks all right. It's all pretty wet over here still. This is set up nicely. We gotta hit this, broom this, border it, and we're done. The problem is the wetter it is, if I broom it, more aggregate gets pulled up. It's not gonna be such a clean finish. But I've wanted to do this for a while, this little border around the outside. Steven goes, hey, have you seen this before? And I was like, absolutely. Not a client favorite for sure, so never had the opportunity to do it on a house. But I'll do it on my house. I think it looks all right. Sun's about to go down. I just went ahead and hit this thing anyways. I don't like this. I knew it was a fairly small job, so I didn't bring up horsehair. That broom is a couple $100 and it's well worth that. But the difference is the bristles on this are very stiff. So when it hits concrete, it acts more like, imagine a wire brush and a purdy brush. Painter's brush, right? That's the best example I can give you. A purdy brush is gonna be, depending on which one you get obviously, is gonna be great. The wire brush is gonna dig. It's like the best example I can give you. Right behind you. A little bit of water goes a long ways. Good enough for a rental. I've wanted to do something like this for a while, but I haven't ever had the place to do it. Kind of cool. The brush strokes finish out here and then that runs through. Successful day. Very successful day. That's gonna be a wrap on this one. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, leave a like on this video, hit that subscribe button down below. Keep learning, keep building, and I'll see you in the next one.